Right, welcome back to OP Podcast, guys. It's been a minute and apologies.
It's been a minute and a half.
It's been a very long time. We have been, just a quick update. I think our last post we were discussing how busy we were with studies and work and parenting and how exhausting everything is. We're done studying, so yay.
Yeah, and well, we're exhausted.
Oh,
But now all of that stuff is done.
Yeah, we are absolutely shattered. And like always, your girl is also sick again. But apologies if I keep clearing my throat and the hoarse voice, but I believe that works for some people.
What the ASMR like?
Yeah. But anyway, so what is on the topic for discussion today?
Well, I wanted to talk about the dating scene today compared to like the dating scene when we were going out.
You say when we were going out as if it was like years and years ago.
It kind of is years and years ago. I mean, it's like a decade
Guys, we're
ago.
29 and we met in 2020.
It wasn't 2020 anything.
No, 2013.
It wasn't
No,
2013 either. It wasn't that long ago.
2015.
Sure.
What year was it? Do you know?
I do. I'm just trying to catch you out.
What year was it?
Usually it's me that doesn't know.
Is it 2014?
Well, I say me. Usually men.
Was it 2014? I think it was 2014.
Are you sure it was 2014?
I believe it was 2014.
It was 2014.
Yay. Yeah. See? But anyway, so we wanted to discuss today's dating scene and how basically we're extremely fed up of the absurdity, which is the word.
You're looking at me as if I should always correct you.
Anyway.
So, it wasn't 2013, it was 2014.
Crack on.
No, but it less so about the fact that it's absurd. I mean, it kind of is, but it's more... I feel kind of sorry for people nowadays, as if I'm, like, 50 years old. But, like, the dating scene now is so different to what it was when we were dating, or I guess, like, a lot of people that we know when they were dating, like, our generation.
Our friendship group.
Our friendship group. And I mean, dating apps were a thing, but it was, I don't know, it was almost seemed more like a game, you know. But
what I've also, sorry to cut you there, what I've noticed is that Gen Z actually are quite open at the moment. That I feel they are more open when it comes to the dating scene than millennials are.
in what way?
In the sense of emotion, in the sense of just being raw and vocal about how they're feeling and letting the other people know and communicating that. Of course, not all of them, because
I don't feel like a lot of them are.
Do you not?
No.
Oh gosh, give them credit.
No.
Controversial.
Controversial. Because the only thing that I ever see flicking through, I don't know, Instagram or YouTube or anything like that, which I know is not like a great place to get information from, is just videos and reels and shorts of people cheating and, you know, cheaters exposed and this, that and the other. It's all...
Oh, they're quick to cheat. Cheating is like nothing for them nowadays. And that's also something...
What I mean. They don't deserve credit.
It scares me. That's another thing of the... Guys, by the way, this is just purely from what we're hearing from our friends who are in the dating pool at the moment and just observing how they are dating, how they're interacting with other people that they're interested in, how they're navigating their emotions, and just seeing couples playing out. And it's just so interesting to just watch and see how different things are. People aren't just committed anymore.
No, people aren't committed anymore. I think people are very scared of committing themselves, and I think they're scared of... I mean, I can understand it because they're scared of heartbreak. Nobody enjoys heartbreak.
No.
But it's shielding themselves off from that completely It's like, okay, well, you're going to cheat with me, so I'm going to cheat first.
Mm-hmm.
So at least my feelings aren't completely destroyed. Like, I might not be happy with the fact that I cheated,
Yeah.
but at least I'm not the one that got cheated on.
Yeah, I was also going to say that's definitely what I was going to say, that people are scared. People are scared, and it's not even from the side of, oh, you're going to cheat on me anyway, regardless, so therefore let me get on it before you do. It's almost they're scared to open up. They're scared to really let people see who they are, in terms of telling people just, oh, I don't want to tell him this because it's going to upset him, therefore he's
Or
going to
just
think,
let people in.
yeah, yes, that's a big deal as well, because they're scared of getting hurt, because I think people have been assholes to them. Everybody's encountered an asshole at some point in their lives, and you know, you can't let one experience close you off to your possible match, your possible forever. Do you know what I mean? I think people are struggling to let go of their trauma, of their baggage. We're not perfect, by the way. Absolutely not. We're just discussing.
What do you mean we're not perfect?
We're just discussing our observation of what we believe is, well, what we can see is going on in the dating pool at the moment, from what we hear and from what we see. Yeah, it's interesting. So, guys, if you agree with anything that we're saying, do comment below, like the video as well. We are really trying to get back up there, in the sense of, creating more content and putting more out there and sharing more with you. So
Well, just consistently, mainly
Yeah.
because we're finished with all the things that we're
done
we were
now, so
doing.
we can commit.
So we could commit, yeah. None of this half-assed nonsense. But I can't help feeling that. I know people don't take relationships very seriously
No,
at the moment.
no.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I know that you should be able to go out and enjoy yourself, and that's fine. Like, if you want to, not sit in one place for too long, then fine. But when you're getting to the end of your 20s or early 30s, at least for us,
We're 29.
you should really, in my opinion, have settled down with somebody, or at least have an idea of what you want within the next 5-10 years. Because
think-
from your perspective, at least, as much as I understand it, that's the kind of point where you're, okay, am I having children or am I not having children? And if I am, this is my last window of starting a relationship I can see through and having children with this person.
Yeah, but I think every individual is also different, because I just knew what I wanted, and I've always been certain in that sense. I'm not quite sure why, but for some reason I've always been certain. It might have been due to my upbringing and what I saw, but I think everyone is a bit worried about how they're being perceived as well. Everybody thinks that they're the main character in everybody's stories, or this person is thinking this way. If I sit this way, they're going to think this way. If I say this, I might come across this way. So that is also making them be a bit reserved. And in that sense, they're also kind of projecting those perception of themselves onto the other person. Does that make sense? Like, if I open up, if I say, he's going to take it this way, or if I'm vulnerable with him, he's going to use that to hurt me again.
Yeah, I guess if they're worried about opening up.
But then some people are just afraid of being alone as well.
Yeah, then that's the flip side of not wanting to open up, because you'd rather not be alone.
Yeah, but I also think you shouldn't have to, you might not know, you shouldn't have to be settled at this age. No, you shouldn't have to be. It's not a must. But you should definitely know what it is you want to do in life, where it is you want to go, what kind of things you want to do, and just have an idea of what it is you want to do, so that when you meet that person.
Well, I don't mean settled in a relationship. Just it's at least being in a place where if I do see someone, and this relationship.
You mean growth-wise, emotionally?
Yeah, exactly. Mature enough within themselves to know exactly what they want to do, what kind of relationship they want, and what kind of person that they want to be with. Because that can change for, depending on who you speak to. So it's just being very sure in yourself. And I think nowadays people aren't as sure within themselves. People put across a very confident image and putting everything onto social media and, having a good time with their friends and everything like that. But when all's said and done and they're at home by themselves, that's when all of their insecurities come back to them and they realise that they're not feeling as confident as they really want to be.
Yeah. I think you're right. I also think people aren't, as well as being unsure of themselves, I feel like people aren't ready to work on themselves either, or aren't ready to, they don't have that self-awareness, because I think it's so easy to focus, as humans, it's so easy to focus on other people's flaws rather than our own, and it's something that I've been working on this year, trying to focus on my own flaws and how I sometimes may come across or may, do you get what I mean? What are my terrible traits? What are my triggering points? Why are those my triggering points? Why am I so triggered by this? How can I maybe handle this better? And that's something I've been actively working on this year within myself. I think a lot of people aren't doing that.
I think a lot of people are caught up in a good time. Like they want a good time, so why are they going to stop to think about stuff that's difficult when they can just have a good time and forget about it and not worry about it?
Yeah.
Because there's just a lot of convenience in society at the moment. I mean, there was convenience for us anyway. It's not like we're from a completely different generation that didn't understand anything.
We're 29 again. We're
But
29. We've been together 10 going on 10 years.
Yeah.
In a couple of months.
But there's even more convenience now than there was 10 years ago.
I've noticed people treat the dating scene like fast food because of, swipe if I want, I don't want it, let's swipe this way. There is no looking beyond just the first picture, the initial boom, my eyes is laid on this. And I think that is so cutthroat.
Well, it's all still based on face value. You see a picture, if you like the picture, you swipe.
Yes.
When, you would see somebody, if you liked the look of them, you would approach them.
Yeah.
And then initiate that conversation.
Yeah.
It's not a huge amount different, but it's still face value.
So there lacks that bravery. There's a lack of that kind of I'm gonna have this conversation in person, that face-to-face conversation. But behind the screen, I'm all happy to be chatting. And I think that's also another thing that I've noticed is a big problem. There isn't that, the human connection is just not there. There's a lot of lack of trust within the dating scene at the moment, and there is a lot of I'm not gonna back down. I'm not letting this go. You need to let this go. Do you get what I'm trying to say? There's no,
You mean compromise?
Yeah, there's no compromise.
It's my way or the highway.
My goodness.
You know what?
A lot entitlement as well.
If you don't want to do this one small thing for me,
then that's it.
And change your entire being
Yeah.
to be what I want,
Yeah.
then I'll just move on. I'll find someone new.
And back to the fast food analogy that I used earlier. It's almost like, well, my man must be this tall, this shape, this body type. Must have. Of course, do have your standards. Absolutely. We've all got to have our standards because, there's no point being with somebody that you don't want to be with or find attractive. But I just think sometimes there's so many little pedantic things like, oh my gosh, he asked for tap water. That was such an ill, bye. That, what, why?
You drink tap water at home. What's the difference?
But, oh babe, you must take me on a first date. You must buy me roses, take me on a helicopter ride, buy me a Birkin, buy me this. Meanwhile, you're sharing a room with your sister. It just it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And all these guys driving around in massive BMWs, but sharing rooms with their siblings, or possibly sleeping in a bunk bed, or put that money. It's just that there's a lot of focus on just the face value stuff, and there's nothing more to it.
That initial picture.
That's it.
That initial impression.
I feel that plays such a massive role at the moment for people in the dating scene, and I'm not quite sure. I mean, I get it, but
I feel like
it's a bit too much.
I feel like part of that reason is because they want sex. They want sex.
Do you think?
Yeah, because why go through all of that effort to create this image in an environment where, like you said, it's like fast food. You can literally have 3, 4, 5 people. You can order it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
It's not all about sex, though. I don't think so.
I'm not saying it's all about sex.
Yeah.
I'm saying a big proportion of it.
From a man's point of view, or I mean, it could be from anybody's point of view.
For people that are just interested in this initial impression, because it's quick, it's easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's a lot, because we were watching a TV program the other day, and what was it that girl said? On somebody's dating profile, they didn't have something or another on there. Yeah,
we were watching a YouTube video. I think the channel was called My Thoughts or something like that.
Yeah.
And they were like, there should be extra boxes on dating apps for, I think, so many other things. And it's just, it almost feels like you're trying to replace...
It was basically she wanted to find out certain information. So, for example, there should be, I prefer tap water over sparkled water, and she was saying
that there's tap water.
Well, that's the only thing they use. She said for the dating apps to, have that automatically, have it as an option for people to put onto their profile, so then you don't have to do the talking to find out that information.
Yeah, so it's just extra convenience.
It was just basically, the normal work that you would do through conversation and having to fish out those things like your favourite colour, what's your favourite food, that kind of stuff. Where were you born, or blah, blah, blah. How are you asking engineers to generate this as a tick box for the person to just place it under their dating profile, and that's it? It's like going to the shops and going, do I buy, I don't know, rich tea or digestives?
Digestives, because rich teas are boring.
Well, hobnobs.
It's got hobnobs. Covered in chocolate, obviously.
Oh.
But
no plain for me. Sorry.
That's fine. get our own packs. But with the additional tick boxes, it kind of feeds back into what you were saying before about there being like a long list of criteria, because after a while it starts to get ridiculous, and if you were to actually match off each and every one and see like what proportion of the population actually met all of that, it's a fraction of a fraction of a fraction.
And open up a little bit, cast your net out a little bit wider, because I think, I don't know if it's because we're an interracial couple, I just feel like I don't have a type. I mean, obviously I have a type in the sense of my standards, but I have a type in the sense of you must look this way or that way. But I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. Help me.
No. I want to see you struggle in the water, just splash about and see what happens.
I need help.
But
Please.
I think what you're saying is with people, they're so convinced that they have to have everything on their list. So say a lot of girls, they have, I want a guy that's 6 foot, and then some guy pops up, he has everything else on that list, but he's 5'11", and you're not willing to.
Well, that brings
stretch
me.
It.
We were watching ABBA and Preach, and they were reviewing this video, and it was basically, I think it was The Cut, the YouTube channel The Cut. this girl, there was a bunch of girls being asked where they expect their ideal man is and his income to be at, and they were based in America, and they were saying, oh, I need him to be making at least $300,000 a year or something like that. I'm thinking some ridiculous $500,000. It's just,
I want him to have his own empire.
yeah, it was just basically ridiculous. And then they gave all this criteria that was absolutely bonkers. And then they were like, okay, do you know what the average man in this area or in your local area where you live make? And then they were like, no, and they estimated maybe, I don't know, maybe $150,000. And then the producers were like, actually, no,
It's like
38K or 40K. And the girls were like, huh? And then the producers went, well, actually, how much do you make? And they made 40K or 30K. Some of them made like 100,000, but the majority didn't. And it was just like, so why are you here in terms of
your average,
your ability and your capabilities,
and
but then you're
want
expecting this?
You want 1% when you're average. In terms of making money.
But it's not to say lower your standards. It absolutely is not. I believe keep your standards, have your standards. It's very important. But I just think,
but if you get on
just
with
take out the weeds. Take out the weeds. Take out the ridiculous, stupid stuff. Like having such unrealistic expectations. Because of course we all want the rich dude. We all do. Oh my goodness. But how many of them are around? And how
I'd
many?
take a rich dude. You think I wouldn't? I'd take a rich dude.
And how many basic bitches are there? Do you get what I mean? Like an average regular me or about. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. How do you compare to this rich dude? You don't.
Well, so it's let's just weed it out. Let's take out the ridiculousness and keep the important stuff. But even so, like we don't have to be so bloody rigid. We're so rigid with it. Really, like they are so like, this is what I want and that is it. I'm not moving the bar. I'm staying there.
I know my worth.
If it's not,
therefore I can wait for it.
if it's not better than what I'm expecting, nah. And that's fine.
Because there's knowing your worth, and then there's entitlement. And there's a fine, there's a fine line in between.
It's the entitlement that we need it to stop. That's essentially all we're trying to say.
Because there's knowing your worth and making sure that nobody takes advantage of that.
Of
making sure
course.
that you don't stoop below your standards or your worth. That's completely different to being so rigid that you have multiple suitable people that you could be with for the rest of your life, multiple people that you've probably bumped into or you could have had conversations with or you might even already know, but because they don't fit these specific things,
your soulmate might not fit category A, your top delicious, this is it, I am certain. Your soulmate might literally be an inch outside of that line, that you've drawn for yourself, and you just need to.
And to be honest, a lot of that criteria is not really standards stuff.
No,
it's like, oh, I want a certain level of living. Fine,
yeah.
$300,000 is a lot.
Oh, we all want it.
I don't know how many bags or shoes or whatever.
I don't know, but we all want
trips
it.
abroad that you want.
But people aren't willing to put in the work as well, and I find that.
Mrs. Average Salary.
People, no, just the dating pool in general, from what I've noticed, people aren't ready to commit, people aren't ready to put in the work, people just, well, this is just such a hassle. We've argued the one time, she's being such a nag, he's being so difficult, he's not pampering me, he's not taking me here, so therefore that's it. And I think we're so quick, of course. I feel like everything I say I have to counter argue with, of course, if it's not suiting you, then leave it. Just do what's best for you.
Well, no, because not every relationship works and not every relationship is right. Because two people might love each other and genuinely do, but that doesn't mean it's right. And that's, I guess, a slightly different conversation. But if a relationship isn't serving you, and at least your basic standards, because that's where compromise would come in, and that's where kind of like bending some of the more rigid things would come in. But
because even with the compromise, it's a simple thing as we've had an argument, we're both in the wrong, or I've upset you clearly, but
we're not talking about it.
we're not talking about it, or you've hurt me, and somebody's upset somebody, but I need you to, whatever it is.
Or like, she's made me feel like a fool, or he's gone out and done this.
Yeah.
It's like it could be either of you. It could be both of you.
Well, I'm not going to apologise. He should have done this. No, well, I'm not going to talk to him first. I've genuinely heard that. I'm not going to talk to him first. Why should I?
I don't want to be the first one
should,
that... but didn't you... I'm still not going to be the first one to...
I'm just like, babe, give it in. Just... It doesn't matter who said what first, but if you're both hurting and it's gone on long enough, you've both made your point, and at this point you're just literally both biting your nose just to spite your faces, and it's just like, get over it. Is the point that you're fighting over? It's such a minuscule thing.
Well, sometimes it can be, but sometimes it might not be.
We do it too.
Is it worth continuing to go through this like little cycle and hurting each other in the process?
Yeah.
Or is it worth one of you, regardless of who's in the right or wrong, being humble in that moment and being like, look, we need to just iron this out. It doesn't matter if there is a right or wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
But we just need to talk about it and sort it so we can at least just get on with our lives and not be stepping around each other all the time.
Do you know what, guys? This is going on quite a bit, but we just wanted to have a quick rant, a quick we're back, a quick what we've noticed in the dating scene at the moment. There is a lot more that we would love to discuss that we've got in stall, and now that we're done with studying and starting to slowly wind down, we are basically a month into, well, you're a month into it, and I am just maybe a week and a half into study freedom. Thank you for joining us on today's talk. Do give this channel a subscribe to. Give us a like, and also leave a comment in terms of what your thoughts were for today.
Yeah. Do you agree with anything that we've said? Do you disagree with anything that we've said? Feel free to leave your feedback or anything that you'd want us to touch on.
And before anybody comes for us, like we said, we've been together 10 years and we've been married 5 years, going on to 6 in August next year. But so we would like to acknowledge that at least we've got experience when it comes to marriage.
Oh no, we're just two random people that just decided to start talking.
We've got experience in this game. We're both 29. Well, I'm 29. Oh, you were both 29.
I'm also 29. You don't remember much, do you? It's a good job I do.
God, I'm tired. It's been a long day. But anyway, we hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Just interact down below, and we've got more to come, so stay tuned, and thank you so much. Have a lovely weekend. Whatever you do. Bye. Thank you.